So we are live. So we are live. Friday afternoon. Having myself an afternoon coffee, late lunch. Looking out through the window, very gray, rainy, windy, basically April weather. And yeah, it stroked me. I got the feeling to make this live today because yeah, a lot of topics. Basically, a lot of topics on my mind right now, and a lot of things going on in life. I feel very unbalanced to begin with. I That's why I feel I am like short of breath. Even though I was actually out running earlier, I went for a run, and that was nice. But there is right now a lot of things going on. So yeah, and the reason why I have this on, it's it's basically a little bit like an experiment that I'm doing. I also feel like I look so tired in the daytime because it's so much bright, and I feel comfortable with glasses in general. And I was actually even considering wearing to wear sunglasses yesterday, or these glasses. These are sunglasses, but they are like see through a little bit, for the presentation we had yesterday in school, just to experiment if I can feel better to make presentations, because that is really like a skill on its own to make those public presentations that you're doing. And I like it. It's going quite well. I can do better. It's a lot about finding your style. It's like it's a technique. It's really a technique you need to use and find your technique. And some people have it easier than others. And now, when we get into those kind of things, maybe we can take a little bit personal stuff, by the way, that I normally do. So, yeah, this week it's been not a good week at all. A lot of stuff with school, a lot of negative stuff, some positive stuff. Um, but in general, it's not really that good right now. And it really got to me. But speaking of that presentation, so basically Monday, no, Tuesday, and I am so unbalanced and off. It's not good. But hopefully I will feel better and better and better. But yeah, this Tuesday I went into the university to meet with my group, because we've been doing a group work. Like, sometimes during university you have your group works. And that is very special. I'm gonna take you through the. It's always interesting when you don't know anybody and you're put in a group where the people know each other. But just to say that Tuesday I went in, Wednesday, and then yesterday, Thursday, we had the presentation. Like a lot of groups. But yeah, there's me, there's two Swedish girls, one Italian guy, one like Swede. Yeah, she's from US, you could say, but she speaks Swedish. I found out yesterday. Very good Swedish, because her mom is Swedish. And then we had one girl from Yes, Chinese and me. So that's six. That makes six of us. Yeah. Yeah, but it's like I don't know. Some Swedish. I guess I'm different, and I think I am very like laid back and stuff like that. But sometimes you just get a like uncool vibe from somebody, from like an unnice vibe. When you say something to them like "Hey" or "Goodbye," and they don't answer you basically, or very very cold, and I don't know how to take that. I mean, I think some Swedish they are just kind of uncool, and I noticed that, and I think I am different Swede in this regards because, and maybe that shines through somehow, and that's why these two girls in particular were kind of like unpleasant vibe, you know. And I mean, I'm relatively well traveled. I am relatively lived a different life, so I get along with, I would say, basically whoever I encounter, I go quite well together with anyone. Not always, of course, there are instances where you don't get along well, you know. And there, I guess there are these people. They grew up in one place. They know their circles. They stick together there. And anybody who is different is just either I'm interesting or I'm just completely like a creep or weird or whatever, you know. But I think I am just treating everybody the same, trying to have a happy vibe, you know, happy nature about me. But I understand if I have not recently. Not publicly like in school and stuff, but to myself. And maybe that shines through, you know, because of what I'm going through basically. I'm not really in a good place right now. I mean, there's school stuff related to that, which is really challenging and not going very well. Even though, and it's so funny, you know, and we will get to that later. When you think that you are doing well and you're putting in everything to it and you really make sure to make a good work, and you just get back like criticism, valid, good with criticism. It's always good to have criticism, but like it basically gets down to sometimes enough is not enough, and that's what I feel now. And that leads me into the other thing today. A few hours ago I texted to my job that I decline the hiring process. I will cancel the hiring process because of the fact. So I wrote that I've been thinking this week, and there are a few things that makes me want to cancel the hiring process for this job, and that is I found it very strange that they called me the day after my educational day, like the safety management or conflict management, safety, exercise, physical exercise, all these scripts. I talked in another live about this, I believe. They called me and say, "Where were you yesterday, Tom?" Even I confirmed my attendance writtenly, three instructors basically, and they confirmed me my attendance. I met the HR people, I met other people, the receptionist. So I wrote that this is very unprofessional to me, and I have not received any kind of documentation. Although some other people seem to have some some documentation, which I found just strange and very unprofessional. And the other thing was that, yeah, the pay is not proportional considering the risks of this job from the sources I have checked now. And I on those grounds I will not continue. And I just got the response back like maybe 15 minutes ago or something, but I didn't check it yet. I had dinner, I had lunch, and I rested a little bit before this live, basically. And now I'm having a cup of coffee. Very nice. So, yeah, that was like a. I was thinking about calling them up when I went out running to deliver this message. But then it struck me like, okay, sometimes you have to make phone calls you don't like to do, and sometimes you have to do things in general that you don't like. And I think that I am really good at that. I am very good to do those things. But now I thought, do I really have to call? I can write an email detail, and then it's also written to the supervisor. So that's what I did. I decided to do that. And so that's what I did. And now that is one problem solved, I guess. But at the same time, I stand here with no job still. And that is a problem in itself, a huge one, and very unpleasant one. But what I wanted to say with that was I am going to start standing up for myself more and more and more in the sense of I'm not gonna do things that I don't wanna do because all my life has been trying to do that, solve things, please people to believe in me or whatever. And I'm fed up with that. I don't need that. I think more people should do that to basically say no, I'm not gonna do this. And that's what I felt. No, I'm not going to call this person. I feel it's been very unprofessional treated with me. No documentation, calling me and say like that. I don't need to call them. I send you a mail and then that's it. So I feel fine and I feel good about doing that because I'm not gonna do things that I don't want. And that's not like don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like there are a lot of teenagers like that. I don't want to do that, leave me alone, I'm not going to do that. It's not in this way. Life is too precious to put yourself in positions where you are going to be exploited or stand. I mean, there are many positions you can stand in front of different kinds of risks, but in this regards I don't want to put myself in these risks that involves very heavily criminal and murderers for this amount of pay and the amount of stress that will cause me when I'm already having a lot of stress in my life, like everybody. I'm not trying to say that I have more stress than anybody else because most people have. And life right now is very, very, very hard. And I'm afraid it's going to be even more difficult. Because this is the truth, that is violence. It's so sad. It happened this week. A father in around Stockholm with his 12-year-old son were out and about, and the father like break in because he see a conflict or some fighting going on between some youths, and he end up being shot in his head in front of his 12-year-old son to death. That's the kind of violence and that's the kind of youth kids that I got job working with. Do you think I'm gonna do that for a wage of a cleaner, basically, or a cashier, or a personal assistant, or I'm just mentioning a few jobs that I know have around this salary, and I think it's absolutely unacceptable. That level of risks when you, and I'm pointing to me because but not anymore, but you as a worker with this or a treatment assistant with these people, with these individuals, are a target on a daily basis for violence when they are kids or teenagers. literally sitting every day and planning how they can murder you sometimes. That is true. And that is very, very sad. But that's the level we are in society now, and it's not getting better. It will be much harder. And I am start to think, what is my part in this? What do I want from this? The world is so uncertain. There are all these societal pressures. There is the pressures you should live a specific way. This is a societal norm. Or you are not successful if you're not having that. At the same time, people are so brainwashed into a way of living that they think makes them happy, but at the same time, they are slaves. What is that thumbs up bubble coming up all the time? I don't get it. So yeah, I've been thinking about that. Because sometimes I know I am conditioned. Everybody is in one way or another. But what do I want? I want a job. I know what kind of job that I want to start to seek out more. But when it comes to like safety, I'm fine living like I do now. Sure, I am. I start to consider that I am depressed. I don't know clinically, or probably not, but I mean everybody who isn't depressed actually. But that's fine. I am used to loneliness and stuff like that. But I create, which is kind of who I am in this way. So it helps a lot. But I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much at all. I A little home, imagine a little home, on the land where you can have access to natural cr- crops, vegetables, fruits, chickens, like that, and know that you have this is your home, this is a safe spot. You know that you have a job that you can do from there, basically. Maybe every once in a while travel to meet people that you work with, but at this property, and I'm not talking some mansion or whatever, like, not at all. I'm talking about a cozy home, few rooms to have family. And there I can create, can write, make music, make other kind of creative projects, work in the gardens. But that's what I'm thinking now. But I think it's a kind of it's a nice thing that I could imagine. Because this thing about working a job here, that you pay like so much in rent, in taxes, cost of living, it's insane. Now I'm not speaking here, I speak like in general. Pay like, let's say 70 to 85% of your income goes towards taxation. Okay, you think you pay just income tax, but what about everything that you buy? You need to buy a car. You have to pay to have the car. Is insurance taxation? It's a taxation to drive on the roads. Is taxation for the petrol, the fuel. Is taxation for literally everything that you're doing. almost is taxation on it. And you're buying your home and you think you're so well off, and you're going out in the pub buying your friends drinks like thousand, like 100 euro for a couple of drinks, and just bragging and talking nonsense, thinking how well off you are and how much of a hotshot you are. I think it's just so pathetic. I've seen that so much, like these middle-aged men, like the stuff they're talking, and they seem to be, they are doing well off in a way for sure. It's great, but the mindset, it's a limitation of who we are as people actually. But now I'm drifting off into other things. I want to get back to the cost of living, and I saw this video before I started my stream. So this guy here, I'm going to translate. He says, can I pause here? Cost of living. He's talking about the cost of living. He say the combination is bound to have a serious mental health effect. The workplace is mostly of men, although women nowadays are making headway, it's gaining equality. But if you can't provide for your family, it causes men a great deal of depression and sadness, because there doesn't seem any alternative to work. If you just weren't there, nothing around here really. And all service industry, it's all delivering food on motorcycles, biocycles, and all that's about it. Working the supermarket, doesn't you can't make enough money to provide for your family, there's a problem. We moved in this service economy, and that's an excuse basically. If you aren't any kind of economy at all, you are manufacturing, at least in part, for your own economy. We don't do it anymore. It's that simple. We don't have any manufacturing industry anymore. We suggest there are people working. Ah, he started over again. Yeah, but basically what he's talking about, and I agree very much. Lost it there. No, was thinking about the comments. Yeah, but what he's basically talking about, if society is moving only into a service industry, and this is capitalism, obviously, you're having just so many people that can do the same thing, and it's just so many people, prices drops, and what you earn is not enough for the cost of living in any way, shape, or form. It's just lost its traditional sense of working a job. But now with the economy and industry and the rules, if you wish, is changing in so many degrees that you cannot have just a basic work anymore, a traditional work. Manufacturing, like, it moves to places away, businesses here shutting down, and this is nothing new. This has been going on for China being the great example of it. The manufacturing moving and developing service industry. Some of the comments says that we live a fucking gray life. Work, eat, sleep, then piss all your wages away on bills and taxes. Whatever little you have, you get your food and pay everything else, like your car, clothes. You're literally just a slave, and you measly pension and enjoy last 10, 50 years of your life, and they wonder why people's mental health sucks. Well said. Where and when did we go wrong with manufacturing? The country is broken, the system is broken, and many people are broken. I think that is a very heavy statement. If a country is broken and the system is broken, no wonder why people are broken. In summary, society is broken. He's right, working harder and longer for less and getting nowhere. But yeah, isn't that the problem? That you're doing so much that your previous generations could just. This is so freaking interesting, and that mentality still exists. I remember the job that I got, and I walked through the administration part of that. And this older guy, like I stopped and talked with him. He was sitting talking some nonsense with another coworker in his office in front of his computer, and he said, "Yeah, we just small talk where I was from and introduced each other." And he said that, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of job this summer. Probably he was looking out through the window. People are gonna see it's gonna be a nice summer day, and they're gonna decide to work from home. That has a specific. It's a legal thing in here in Sweden. You can do that. Like if you have a child, you can choose like vabba. It means work. I guess it means work and stay home with your child. And a lot of people take advantage of that. I have one friend who lives in Stockholm, and he's talking about that sometimes. He's sending me like this crazy smiley with the tongue and weird eyes. I'm home vabba today. And that, together with what I heard from this man, just really explain the mentality of people in this country. That some people feel like they have such a secure position, so they can just put their feet on the table. But there is and they are governmentally funded. Obviously, they are living on taxpayers' money, and it's kind of disgusting, to be honest. It serves a good purpose. Obviously, if your child is sick, you can be home working. But like my friend, for example, he is working with kids. Like he's not a school teacher. He's just like with kindergarten and going out. Checking on them, basically. I don't know what the hell he's doing. But yeah, he say then I don't understand how you can work from home, because that's a job you need to be with kids. Could never do a job like that. It seems really, really, really tough mentally. But yeah, we are going to see a very difficult time. It has already started. Yeah, it's a neoliberalism. Everybody being their own little entrepreneur on a motorbike, food delivery, or whatever kind of. You see these apps coming out for everything, like sign up to this app for working with this or that. And everything become like a service society, freelance society, where you live off of your little stars on the phone, and basically making a little bit of a living from that. But it's so unreliable, and more things are automized, I guess you say, automated. I don't know where we're heading, actually, to be honest. It's very unsure, and I don't want this stream to seem like me being some kind of feeling like I said I'm depressed, like most people are, I think. But like being negative, that I am not. I'm just trying to be a realistic and talk about things that interest me. Yeah, and that image I have on the thumbnail here, very it's it's actually from Cambodia when I was there. A very, 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 very nice place that I very, 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 very nice place oh, that I that I really miss. That I have plans to visit again. It would be my great pleasure to go back. Would really like to do that. Funny how this dream can never reach. I start to have my suspicions actually. I have a few things that I will not mention why I have my suspicions, but I have my reasons for thinking like that. And that's fine. I'm happy anyway. But right now it's a time which is very, very tough. Already middle of April, can't believe it. It's very strange. Yeah, but what did I say that I was gonna talk about actually? I was going to talk about. Yeah, well, I mean, we can talk about that actually. Surveillance and the music industry. Oh, another person seems to have unsubscribed. That's good. I only want the pure, if you know what I mean. There's definitely indications for we being a surveillance. I think China is being like going to be the example. But I mean, why did I put the music industry? It was something that I think it was just because recently I've been really studying how scary the music industry is and how dirty it is. It's really, really bad. How much symbolism, but I don't want to be too dark about this because I had enough with that. It seems like that industry is led by, let's say, powers that you can join and have what you want, but you will sell out your music and you will be a target and be used so heavily by putting horrible stuff into your music by controlled forces, if I say that. Yeah, but whatever, I could go in depth about that, but for today I don't feel like I'm in the mood for it. I mean, if we say secret intelligent forces being influenced, how we interpret and how we are affected by, down to lyrics down to visuals, perceptions, down to sound waves. I'm talking hertz, I guess, yeah. Because that is something I've also been studying recently, how those things is influencing us, affects us. Yeah, but my music is not affected by that. I can tell you that. I can assure you of that. I would say that my inspiration is very broad. It's very, very broad music inspiration I have. But it's definitely more holy or positively in positive spiritual influence. That's the truth. That's the definite truth, and that's what is going to remain until I check out. And that's the law. That is my law. That is no secret, bad, dark influence at all. Because that doesn't last anywhere, doesn't go anywhere. And I think that because those people that do that and sell out, if you want to say like that, in the music industry, they are scared of people like me, and that is the truth. There is only in this regards. I used to say some people used to say there is not only one truth, there are many truths. I can agree. I mean, depends how you view it. If you ask every media, is that the truth of their story? Yes, even if they are funded by different operators or actors with different interests and different agendas, everyone would say that's the truth. But in the sake of I'm being truth when it gets to the many musical or creative beings or creative people or musical artists or whatever that have influenced or are backed up by these dark agendas and forces, they are scared of me. Not to say that I am competing or anything with them, but if we will sit and talk and get down to exactly this, what I'm talking about right now, if then they know that I am the truth. Not only me. There are many other people like me that want to spread the correct message. Not to suppress, but for people to actually open themselves and open for unity, for to unite. These people can stand up on the stage and like rap or sing the most awful awful lyric with the most awful symbolic messages in funded by the most awful intentions to lower people, but they think they are actually lifting them. But that's the tricky part. In this way, they know I am truth compared to them. They are not, and that's just how it is, and it's going to remain like that. And I'm sitting here saying that with no listener, nothing. What do you say? Published, nothing, nobody listening is like a little bit of a joke. It can really seem a little bit like a joke, but that doesn't matter. It's not about that. I'd rather be liked by and appreciated by being truthful in this manner than having to sell out and having everything that you wanted in this world, if you know what I mean. I couldn't care less. I'm too tired for that. I'm I am and I have had enough. I really had enough, but I still have some belief in me that remains there. But I have to say that I am tired. I don't know what stands in front of me, but I guess I still feel safe. So, with that said, my friends, peace and love. Going to check out now. And I wish you a very, very lovely weekend and take care of yourself. Tom out.